friends, welcome back to Truthatude. I'm Lindsay, and if you saw last week's video, I'll leave a link below, I talked about different ways to implement structure into your day and some rituals to help you find balance so that you feel like you're actually making progress in your goals and not just being busy all the time. So this week I'm doing a follow-up to that video. So today we're going to be talking about how to find balance and build confidence. Do you feel like you're constantly busy but not actually making any progress towards your goals? I know I feel like that sometimes, and if you're like me, somebody who can get easily distracted, easily overwhelmed, then I highly suggest taking a look at how you start your day and how your day is structured. If you feel like you just have this endless to-do list and you get burnt out and then at the end of the week you don't feel like you've actually accomplished anything, you are not alone. I have been there. I want to share with you some tips on how I structure my day in hopes that you can pick out one or two things and implement them so that you can find balance in your day and make progress towards your goals every day, every week, every month, until you actually achieve the success that you're wanting. When I'm organizing my week and my month, I set aside one day a month to actually map out my goals and my hopes and my accomplishments that I want to achieve for that upcoming month. And then I break it down into weekly tasks. What can I do this week or each week to get me closer to the goal I have in mind for this month? And I really encourage you to do this. Take an hour, 2 hours, once a month to set yourself up for the whole month. And then every week, dedicate a half an hour to an hour of your time to yourself to prepare for the week ahead. What do you want to focus on? What are your goals for the week? What are your little tiny tasks that you want to get done? And then map out your week. I write down my top 3 goals for the week, my top 3 projects for the week. Those are my top 3 non-negotiable things that I have to get done this week for me to move forward to my goals and progress in the bigger picture of life and doing all the things. So please dedicate this time to yourself, carve it out, keep your appointment with yourself. One tip that I have, and I think that's really important, but it gets lost on a lot of people, is to tidy up your space. Make your bed, do the dishes in the sink so that they're not nagging on your brain while you're trying to focus on things that are important and doing your work for the day. Set up a distraction-free zone. Make sure that your workspace is tidy. You turn off the notifications on your phone so that it's not buzzing every 5 minutes. Turn off the notifications on your computer. Close all the other browsers that you have open so that you can focus your time and your attention to the task that you are doing at that time. Some people like to work in silence. I don't know how they do that, but God love them. That's just not my thing. I really like to have some kind of background music. Now, for me, I'm not one of those people that can listen to music with words while I work. So I usually do like soft beats or instrumental beats. And then I've created my focus playlist, and I'll leave a link in the description box so you can check it out. And create a workspace that you enjoy. For me, you can see in the background, I have fresh flowers, I have a candle that I light. My favorite scent is citrus, so I have a grapefruit candle that kind of gives me a little boost of energy. And I really enjoy being in my workspace. And because I enjoy being here, it helps me not be fidgety and walk around and not be focused. So I mentioned tiny tasks, and one of the tiny tasks that I do, and I consider a tiny task, is I designate a time to check emails. And I know that in a lot of jobs and for a lot of people who are addicted to their phone, this is probably gonna be a pain point for you, a big struggle. I really encourage you to designate time to answer emails, and I really encourage you to limit it to 1 to 3 times per day. I usually only check my email once a day, and I know that saying that is gonna give some of you a heart attack, but trust me, you do not need to answer emails as they come in unless you are saving lives. And if you're saving lives, I don't think that those requests are coming in via email. I'm just saying. So designate a time, whether that's your tiny tasks section of your day, to answer emails. And I usually, if I have to and I have a busy day, or I know I'm expecting a client to email me, then I do pay a little bit more attention and I'll probably check my email twice a day. But usually I check my email once a day and that's enough. Now, obviously you have to tailor that to the demands of your specific job, your specific life, but the point here is that you do not need to pick up your phone every time you get a new email. You do not need to click on your email every time something pops up on your screen. It is so distracting. It takes you out of the zone for whatever you're working on and you get lost. So do yourself a favor and designate time to answer your emails. 1 or 2, 3 times a day max, so that you're not constantly looking at your phone. You know, I've heard somewhere that on average people look at their phone at least 150 times a day. This does not have to be you, because you can be focused and you can be killing the game, crushing your goals. I cannot stress this enough. No matter what kind of job you have, unless you're saving lives, you do not need to be responsive immediately. You don't. And you do not need to be available 24/7. You have to set clear boundaries for yourself, but it's important and it's your responsibility as a professional and as a beautiful human to communicate those boundaries to the people that are probably trying to reach you. Along with setting aside time for your emails, set aside time for your text messages and your calls that need to be made, which brings me to another section that I include in my day when I plan for my week. I have a little section that is connection with people. That's what I call it. And these are the people that I need to touch base with this week in my personal life, not clients, not colleagues, my personal connections that I need to make for the week, the people that I want to reach out to and give a little love. So I usually have 3 or 4 people that I aim to reach out and connect with during my week. And so I set a time aside to text them, call them, and that's how I stay connected to my tribe. And I really encourage you to do this because I hope, being a wonderful human, that connecting with people is of value for you, and not just clients or colleagues that have demands on your time, but people that you love and you want to nurture that relationship. When you're working, I really think it's important to check in with yourself, because I was super guilty of trying to do too much in my day and then feeling really lousy at the end of the day when I didn't produce enough, be productive, or accomplish enough. And this feeling of not enoughness can really do a number on your confidence. So I really encourage you to check in with yourself and ask yourself, am I trying to do too much? How is my energy? How is my mood? How is my time for the day? Am I trying to cram too much in? Am I trying to crowbar too much to do in this little space of time? Am I trying to strong arm my emotions or my energy or my mood to get it done? Am I trying to fake it till I make it? And I am not a proponent of that at all. I hear it all the time and I think it's garbage advice. Fake it till you make it. No. Honor where you are at that moment in time. Honor where you are at in your energy, in your mood, in your emotions, in your time. Just know that your best might look a little differently today than it did yesterday, and your best is going to look different tomorrow than it does today. So honor where you are at. You do not have to fake it till you make it. There's a huge, big, wide world out there of productivity shaming, and it breaks my heart. And I was part of that. We should on ourselves a lot. And when I heard this phrase, I laughed because I should on myself all the time. And you heard me right, should on myself. You should on yourself a lot too, I'm sure, and you don't even notice it. And this productivity shaming, this not doing enough, not being productive enough is really killing people's confidence. In your day, in your week, you have to try to find balance of spending time and dedicating time for others and for yourself, because if you cannot nurture yourself, you cannot be there for others. You cannot pour from an empty cup. I think it is super important to develop these kind of habits now, because time is your most valuable and non-replenishable asset you will ever have. You will never get time back, and so you need to find a balance of honoring yourself and being in service to others, but not to the detriment of your own well-being. Once you start putting a little bit of strategy into your day and creating these routines, it's really going to help you, and it certainly has helped me, figure out what really matters. What are the priorities and what are things that are just busy work? Because there are a ton of people out there that are always busy and not actually moving the needle forward in life, in their goals, in their relationships, or in their confidence. When you take time to reflect on what you've accomplished and you set aside time to look ahead and set goals for yourself in the upcoming month, the upcoming week, the upcoming day, you get to ask yourself, is how I'm spending my time in alignment with my values and moving me closer to achieving the goals that I have for myself? So many of us get lost in our day-to-day and get buried in our to-do list that we forget to acknowledge and take note of what we've already completed and what we've already accomplished. And it's so important to celebrate what you've done in your day and give yourself high fives, because if you are just too quick to move on to the next thing that you have to do, this is what causes burnout and the constant state of busy. And being busy does not necessarily make you successful. This was me. I had an endless to-do list and I never felt like I was moving forward or accomplishing anything. This internal need, this endless feeling of I need to be productive, and I was always feeling like I didn't accomplish anything or I wasn't productive enough. In reality, I was doing 5,000 things and always being busy. This not enough voice was super loud and I was really hard on myself and very easily overwhelmed. And my hope for you is that by taking a little bit of time to implement some rituals and some strategy and making sure that you include some time for self-love, that you can avoid overwhelm and actually feel like you're being successful in moving forward in your goals. Regardless of how much you do in a day or how productive you are, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you should love yourself regardless, because you are the only you that you get. My hope for you is that you can find a balance between achieving your goals, finding balance in your day, and being gentle with yourself, knowing that you don't have to be productive to be worthy of love, and that you love yourself unconditionally regardless of how much you get done in a day. How does this tie into confidence, Lindsay? Well, creating a balance and finding flow in your day does build your confidence, because it allows you to keep appointments to yourself, and keeping promises and appointments to yourself is one way that you build self-trust, which is a major root of confidence. When you create a flow and you find balance in your life, this builds confidence because it goes back to diversifying your lifestyle and mixing up your life pie. If you're wondering what the heck is a life pie, check out the video. I'll leave the link in the description box below. By doing all of this and implementing a strategy into your day that includes time for you, time for others, and time for your goals, this helps you live in alignment with your values, which is another major root of confidence. So all of this comes back around to, yes, it's a strategy for your day, and yes, it's knocking out your to-do list, and yes, it's getting you one step closer to your goals, but really it all dials back to building your self-confidence and finding ways to root your confidence in your everyday life. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Until then, stay true to the Truthatude. Don't forget to subscribe below. Hit that like button. If you don't like this video, leave me a comment and tell me why. I want to know. If you're not already, follow me on social media, Instagram and Facebook. And if you want more content or inspiration, head over to the blog, truthatude.com. Thanks again. And I totally forgot, if you want to explore different rituals and try to find some structure in your day, definitely check out the free printable I created. I'll leave a link in the description box below so that you can experiment with your day and find some more balance. Ciao. Pause for a hair break. Oh, I don't even have a hair tie. Merp. JK then.